Today, let's start with the course contents. So right, for this intensive class, we have the course contents and which are spread over 4 days, typically day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Today, that is the first day, we'll be taking a project-centered approach. So the entire course is a practical course, which will be having a project-centered approach. So then, what is it that we are slated to cover today on the first day? We'll be taking a banking project on the banking sector, and the contents will be pertaining to descriptives, correlations, and scatter plots. Now, when I say descriptive correlations and scatter plots, what is that supposed to mean? Out here, we can see the details of the contents covered. We'll first quickly understand the various file menus in Minitab software. Now, as I discussed in the start itself, that we are taking this as an advanced training course to know the basic, to have an understanding on the various file menus or edit or the data or the stat menus in the Minitab software. Followed by that, we'll be moving into analyzing and importing the banking shares price data. For that, we'll be importing a CSV format. Thereafter, we'll be generating and interpreting the descriptives. So how do we generate the descriptives? Typically, we'll be going into the stat menu and we'll be running the inherent algorithm, and the output will be generated, of course. Followed by that, we will be generating the descriptives, but then how do you interpret it? So that is another part that will be covering as part of the generating and interpreting descriptives. Followed by that, generating correlations and interpreting the correlations matrix. That is another important aspect. And then finally, we'll be generating and analyzing the scatter plots. So whilst we generate the correlations, typically correlations can be positive, negative, or zero. So how do we verify that? For verifying that, we'll need to generate the scatter plots. So that will show you a typical trend as to whether the price data is positively correlated, negatively correlated, or there is a zero correlation on that. With these points in mind, let us quickly move to the software. Now, the thing is, I already launched the software for you, so you all don't need to go into how the software installation and all will happen. Quickly running through the file menus or the command, the file menus that we have here. I click on file. Now here we can see there is new file or new project, new worksheet or report, whatever you intend to open. Followed by open. If you click on open, then it will take you to the link where you want to import your data set. So I'll come and I'll import the data set. Followed by that, you can save the project. You can run the ODBC database query. You can also run as an executive file. And then let's move on to edit. Now, edit, we can see that most of these are disabled as of now. The primary reason for them to be disabled is, because out here, what we see is, we have not yet imported any file within the software. So a lot of these menus are disabled for now. The worksheet links are also disabled. Thereafter, we have this menu on data in which you can have the subset worksheet. You can split the worksheet. You can stack the worksheet, merge worksheets. So that these are the different details that are provided, additional features that are part of the software. Calculator, we have the calculator inbuilt, column statistics, row statistics. We can make the pattern data. These are the set of common features that you'll be using if you want to make pattern data. And then we have stat. Now, this is the most important feature that we'll be using today and throughout the course. When we take this stat feature, what do we see in that? Well, I click on basic statistics and I see here, there's a list of the descriptive statistics that we have. So these are inbuilt algorithms within the stat feature that is provided, stat menu that is provided. And then we have a single sample Z test and single sample T test, two sample T test, paired T test. And then we have the correlation over here that we'll be covering as part. We have the normality test, outlier test, and goodness of fit test for Poisson distribution. And then we go into regressions. There are another set of algorithms over here. When you go to ANOVA, another handful set of algorithms over here. So as you go across different techniques, you will be finding the inbuilt algorithms and the inbuilt features that you will be using, or methodologies that you'll be using on your given imported data set. you also have something on the time series analysis. So we can generate a time series plot, autocorrelation, autocorrelation, cross correlation, ARIMA. So these are advanced time series and econometrics techniques that are also integrated in the software. So next, let's click on graph. So what are the graphs that we are provided here with? We have a graph builder. We also have the scatter plot. Now this is a scatter plot. That is something that we will be covering, as I have discussed over here, generating and analyzing the scatter plots. And then we click on the, no wait, let's go into the graph a little more. So we have the scatter plot, we have wind scatter plot. We also generate the correllogram, histograms, dot plot, probability plots. This will help you test your data for a particular distribution and estimate percentiles. We also have the empirical cumulative distribution function, CDF, probability distribution plots. We have bar charts, heat map, pie charts. So there is a wide variety of graphs that are provided in this software, followed by view. So in view, again, we can use the navigator command line history. We can check for data and outputs. We can check data only. It shows the data pane and hide the other output panes. Obviously, some of the features will be deactivated for now. Next is the help menu, wherein if you check on help, it will take you online on Minitab's website, and then it will ask you for your support. What is it that you want to really look for? Supposedly, if you click on get started, it will show you here what all you can do while you are starting. It's providing you with the documentation details. There are integration guides, help and how-to menu is also provided. And yeah, we have the long list of statistical methods and technologies. We have the graph here. In graph also, we have different types of graphs. So if you click on scatter plot, it will show us the example of simple scatter plot. How do you generate a scatter plot? Anyway, this is the use of help menu that we have here. And then we have the assistant. So this assistant helps you generate some of these analysis. It helps you with graphical analysis to examine distribution data. It will also help you with the hypothesis tests, regression analysis, DOE, control charts also. We have this new predictive analytics module, which is typically pertaining to card classification and card regression. So this feature has been recently added, probably within the last 1 or 2 advanced features which had been launched by the software, or which had been launched by Minitab. So if I click on tree-net classification, it will give us a fit model. It will discover the key predictors. Now, again, as I mentioned, since we have not imported any data set, some of these features will show as disabled. Then we have additional tools that's Minitab Workplace and the quality trainer for e-learning service that lets you learn to apply the quality statistics. So typically for quality purposes in manufacturing companies, you need certain quality methods such as Pareto charts or fishtail charts and things like that, techniques like that. So for that, they have a special quality trainer course. But okay, that is what we have. That was a quick look at your menus, the software menus that you have here. And so now let's quickly move on to analyzing and importing the banking shares price data. So again, coming back on the software here, let's click on this. Now this is open. You can click here. You can also click on file and open it from here. And then you can save the data. You can print, copy, paste. These are the functions that you have here. Some of these functions is for inserting the cell, inserting rows, inserting column, moving columns. So of course, some of these features, like I mentioned, they'll be enabled once you import the data set. So now let us quickly move to the data set. So I click on this button here on open desktop. Now that's the place, that's a location where I've saved it. Now I'm taking this Asian Paints price data. So I'm clicking here all files. It will show you different files that you would like to import. If you select only Minitab files, and it will show you only these limited files. If you click on all files, yeah, okay. Anyway, it will show you all the possible files which are supported by the Minitab. Let's quickly click on no, not Asian Paints. Sorry, we need to pick IDBI. Let's pick the IDBI price data. So I click open here. Right now, first row to import. Yes. Now, what is the first row that we have here? That's the date, the prices. You can see two different prices, O price and open. I'll explain this once it is imported. You have the field delimiter over here, text qualifier. These are the options here. If you want, we can make changes over here. What values represent missing data in your file? You can provide the numeric columns for that, but it's okay even if you don't add. It'll take the default columns and rows. So we'll click OK here. And yeah, you can also preview the Minitab worksheet. Let's click on that and see how it shows. Yeah, that's how it shows. I don't quite remember this feature in the previous Minitab versions, but yeah, this is a very good feature that they have provided. So it is also giving you the columns in total. How many columns do we have here? We have 16 columns here. And 16 columns and 99 rows, almost 100 rows. So 16 into 100 is what? 1600. So we have around 1600 data points, as I understand. So let's click OK. Right. So we can see the data set is loaded over here.